start with the mail and probably get into some other conversation. There. Right. Yeah. The first one, so DC Big Oso Ya, and the subject is Raw Announcer Experiment Over. Dear Conan and Disco, I'm a first-time subscriber to the show. Disco, you were underrated as a character in WCW, and your in-ring storytelling was very interesting. Conan, bro, no, but you were super jacked back in the day. My question is, do you believe that Kevin Patrick as Raw Lead Announcer Experiment is over and done? Because in my opinion, he brings nothing to the broadcast.
What's the guy's name?
Kevin Patrick. Is that the English guy? He's the English guy, right?
Is that the guy that JBO refers to as Shamrock?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
That's supposed to be the lead announcer?
Well, he's the lead announcer.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as no lead announcer.
He's an Irish guy,
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
whatever they're doing with him, I don't give a
well,
really. Like, he doesn't add any flavor. You know what I'm saying? He ain't Pat McAfee. I even like Michael Cole, but he ain't McAfee, bro. You know what I'm saying? When
McAfee comes back, I'm sure they'll reshift and juggle the lineup again. But this is there's some guys that are in there right now.
I just thought McAfee's after JR and maybe Paul Lee, just the best.
What about Excalibur? Except the Wrestling Observer newsletter readers vote that Excalibur is the best announcer every year.
Yeah.
Well, that's that nerd.
Do you think he is, Joe?
No, but I don't have a pick either, really. Now that I think about it. But
there really isn't anybody that stuck out except McAfee.
I like JR, but he's been, he's on Rampage now, and it seems like he doesn't.
Man, but
he's only
give him
entertaining when he buries stuff.
Yeah. When he gets surly, is when he's the best.
Right.
They don't do the type of storytelling and angles that take advantage of Jim Ross's ability to narrate a storyline.
Right.
They just do a bunch of matches, and a bunch of moves, and he's just
Right. He doesn't know how to call that dude. That's not what he's about. He's about building, and building intensity and giving the backstory and bringing you in.
I want to give you an example of how, like in AEW, he's like a like his talents are wasted. And you watched? Did you watch Raw last night, Conan? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let me tell you the formatting and the way this segment was produced. Okay, so you got Austin Theory. He comes out with the suitcase and stuff and he's gonna be wrestling Mustafa Ali, right? So Ali comes out and they get in the ring and they're ready to wrestle. Like literally, no lie. I am absolutely fixing to change the channel, okay? Because I do not care about this. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins' music hits, and Seth Rollins goes like, "Oh, well, business picks up." Seth Rollins?
First of all, did you see Raw, Joe?
I'm used to.
You would have loved
you guys doing
Seth
it Wednesday.
Rollins was wearing. He was like a Prince,
like a yellow
Torero Matador thing.
Okay, so
right here, with no shirt. It looked crazy.
Phenomenal.
So Seth Rollins comes out and he comes to commentary and he's being very flamboyant and something. So I'm literally waiting to hear what he has to say because I don't really care that much for Austin
right, because Seth comes off as a star, bro.
Right.
He comes in, bro. He comes out, the people singing shit. He looks cool as shit. He's good on the mic, and he's going to be up to something to no good.
Right. So the match starts, and instead of just getting into a bunch of high spots and sacks, they do a lockup, a headlock, a tackle, and a sell. And this takes 1 minute. But while they're doing this, it's just not a lot of in-ring action. You're fixated on what Seth Rollins is saying on commentary. And Seth Rollins is trying to narrate the storyline between him and Mustafa Ali and trying to actually put the Ali character kind of over as to why he's out there. And Seth is doing what JR would do in a spot like that where he is talking about the guys in the ring and giving them kind of character development and telling what their motivations are and stuff, right? And that's what the WWE is very clever in doing basic stuff like that when they produce their show, right? But Ross and AEW, it's these guys get in the ring and there's a million spots and they go a million miles an hour. He doesn't really have any time to talk about the characters, because there's always the actions, fast and furious and stuff. So it's that's a major difference. But when you watch the show, watch how they produce that because it's very clever about how they interjected Seth Rollins into a segment and made it more interesting than it would have been if he wasn't. So